Welcome back, everybody. You're with us here on Cape Rugby TV. Just before the break, I was speaking to Jerome about some of the dynamics of coaching. So, Jerome, I've always wondered about that. I've often wondered, you know, when we look at coaches making notes, and I'm wondering what are they making notes on, because it's in the middle of a game. You're not going to change anything during the middle of the game, no matter how many notes you're making, because you're not going to go at halftime to a player and say, you know, this is what I took notes on your performance. But what you're really talking about here is you're keeping notes so that you are thinking about the next game and the season ahead.
You know, JP, over the years, for me coaching, I find out like I'm not a spectator. I watch rugby differently. I actually watch, if we play Saturday, I watch the game Sunday. Then I watch the rugby like a spectator. But while I'm there, I've got a job to do. I need to watch it every single thing, whether it's defense, whether it's scrums, whether it's lineouts, whether it's penalties, what the opposition do, where they do certain stuff on the field. So there's a lot of things that you can tick your boxes. And at second half, you know exactly what to tell your players at the break. And obviously you use your other coaches the same. You have a backline coach, you have a forward coach. Some teams have a defense coach. Just tell the guys, this is your focus point. You don't watch rugby. You watch what they do on defense, what we can do better on defense. The forward coach, what type of lineouts are they doing? Give them proper feedback. The backline coach, where do I do the attack? What do they do?
But isn't this one of the things that in today's world, when we talk about coaching, the today's coach is completely different to the coach that we saw 5 years ago, 10 years ago. And if you, as a coach today, are not spending at least 30% of your time on admin, on capturing data, writing things down on your clipboard, if you're not spending that time, you're out of date. You're not going to survive.
JP, if the guys come to us, to Nazim and myself, when we do level 2, that's all that we preach. And a lot of these guys come there, but I don't see them. Because we go further. If we give feedback on players on Mondays, players must have their notebooks. Tuesday, if we talk about the opposition, the player must have a notebook. They must make notes on what you say.
Yeah, look, personally...
So I can't see a coach don't have anything when they stand there and watch the game.
Yeah, look, I also personally think that in addition to that, I think that coaches today should be teaching their players a little bit about media, a little bit about how to use social media, because you've got to be able to drive content. I think today's times, coaches need to understand how to use a video camera. You need to know how to use Zoom effectively, or whatever sort of online workshops that you might be doing with your players. There's so much more than you cannot just be standing on the side of the field shouting at your players anymore.
No, exactly. Even if I'm a forward coach at the club and my wife or my son is at the game, take the phone, take the scrums, just take the lineouts for me.
Yeah.
So Monday I can give proper feedback.
Yeah.
As like you say, the technology is there. So the olden times are done. And you can't just ask a player, why did you kick there? You must tell him, and he must understand, and he must give you feedback. And it's a pull, you must also pull from the player, what does he think? You can't just say everything. So I think we've done that, but I just want to see more of that when I watch a game. And I want to see a coach jump in the air.
Well, we've got it. Well, talking about jumping in the air, the other match that we took a look at was, of course, Franshhoek and NTK. NTK is back for yet another year of promotion relegation, and we had this discussion last week about, do they come back fresh? They haven't played. Franshhoek, of course, had to play through the playoffs. Well, this is the game now where we find out. So NTK against Franshhoek in the, let's take a look at the first half. Welcome back, folks. We are a little bit tight on time, so we're going to have to move our conversation about the game to after the break. But of course, before we do that, let me first just tell you a little bit about MChem 24-hour pharmacy, of course, on the N1 and Durban Road. Now, of course, MChem, folks, has got multiple zones in the pharmacy. And by the way, as I said, they're open 24/7. Multiple zones. Downstairs, there's, of course, the dispensaries. The pharmacy is, of course, open 24/7. There's expert nursing sisters on duty. And, of course, upstairs, there's the spa. There is the sports supplement zone. Really, MChem has got so many different zones, and they've always got what you need. And one of the things that we do want to highlight is that they also now have the wound care clinic available. So, in fact, there you see MChem behind me now in all its glory, folks. You can see the pharmacy from the N1. But the wound care clinic with qualified nursing sisters on duty Monday to Sunday from 8 a.m. until 8 p.m. If you maybe need your wound changed or some dressings changed, then MChem 24-hour pharmacy is the pharmacy for you. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll carry on talking club rugby. Back in a sec.